Hey guys, welcome to another episode on Zoom Central. Today I'm going to be talking about miking techniques and how that will help you improve the audio quality on your podcast or on your YouTube channel. And it applies to any mic that you're using, even if you are using high-end mics or even if you are using the cheap mic that comes with your Apple iPhone, that cheap headset. But maybe they don't even bundle that together with your iPhones anymore. But point being that you will be able to improve your sound quality by just following a couple of tips on this video. Now, the tip number one that I'm going to be talking about is the most important in my opinion, and that is about sound to noise ratio. So sound is what you're trying to capture. If you're trying to capture my voice, that is the sound ratio. If you're talking about noise, could be anything. It could be your background sound, it could be the air conditioner running, it could be a dog barking, or it could be your colleagues talking around, and that would be considered as noise because it's not what you're intending to capture. Now, if you have a high sound to noise ratio, which is low, it means to say you don't have to crank up the gain or crank up the mic levels very high, and you'll be able to get a clean signal. But if your noise was very, very high and your voice stays the same, then your ratio drops. And when that happens, you've got to kind of like crank up the volume a little bit on the mic so that you can hear yourself carefully. But when you do that, you are also cranking up the noise. So first thing first, reduce the amount of noise, right? Find a quiet place, go into your closets, and even to the extent of asking for help. Like, hey guys, I'm trying to do a recording. Do you mind if you keep your volume down? Other things you could do, things like this, the soundboards, things like putting blankets over the wall, or even just cluttering your room in general with more and more stuff. It will break up the sound waves and cut down on reflections and echoes and reverberations so that you will be able to sound as good as you can possibly sound. But of course, that takes a lot of work and it may involve a little bit of money if you are trying to put up soundboards, and that is kind of like not what I'm trying to tell you today. So more importantly, the second tip that I'm going to be talking about is actually how you speak into the mic. Now, I am actually speaking at a cross 45-degree angle to the mic. Notice I'm not doing this, because if I'm doing this, you might actually hear the hissing and the pops that is coming from my breath, because air is actually activating the mic capsule inside, and it is not the most pleasant sound. Okay, sorry if I have irritated you about this, but if you can hear the difference in this particular demonstration, it shows you that the position of your mic is actually important. So what I like to do is usually I will angle the mic to a 45 degrees so that when I'm speaking, and if I have any plosives coming out, the P's and the B's and even the T's to a certain extent, it doesn't create a gush of wind that will hit the mic capsule and cause the plosives effect, and that can be really irritating. Of course, I'm also assuming that you're keeping the levels correct. A couple of speech technique also is to speak a little bit slower and don't purse your lips, all right? Keep your lips a little bit open and speak slower so that you don't create that rush of air if you are unable to angle the mic in any way. Even if you have angled the mic, you should try to practice that as well. And tip number 3, keep a consistent distance to the mic so that you don't vary the distance, because if you are varying the distance, it might actually sound very distracting and very different. If you're turning your head and the mic is not picking you up, then you have a problem. Of course, it depends on the mic, whether it's dynamic or whether it's a shotgun condenser mic, which may mitigate the problem. But in general, keep a regular and consistent distance to the mic as you speak. And the last tip I have for you is to keep yourself fit, because if you're going to be walking and if you're recording while you're walking or dancing or moving around actively and you're panting away, it's not going to sound very nice because you're out of breath and the air is actually moving faster. So keep yourself fit. Well, I hope these tips help you in creating better content on your channel. If you found this helpful, do consider subscribing and leaving a like for this video. I'll catch you in my next video.